Besides going out and informing the immigrant community about their rights, the New Mexico Dream Team organization hands out cards like this that could be used in case an ICE official knocks on their door. The event brings families together that share the same sorrow when losing a loved one, like this mother whose son was killed brutally. The city is also proposing to limit the time allowed to live in or occupy a recreational vehicle. Students from Las Cruces High School held hands and sang "We Are the World," a song that shows community and working together. And that was a major theme for the beginning of National Crime Victims' Rights Week.
There's about 50 agencies and organizations that have come together to let, again, each and every one of these family members, let our community know that we come together and we've got your back. And if you're struggling in any way, if you need assistance in any way, we're going to be here for you. And that's the beauty of having all these agencies and organizations come together on this special day.
The centerpiece of the Victims Expo was a memorial walk led by Matachines at Young Park to remember the victims of crime.
We're trying to teach the kids today that violence is not the way to go.
The event brings families together that share the same sorrow when losing a loved one, like this mother whose son was killed brutally. Rita Olivas had twin boys, Jorge and Carlos Olivas. One day in February 2004, they were walking home from a teen club. The police report says they got into an altercation with some other boys. Jorge was shot and killed. Rita says Jorge was a strong, athletic 14-year-old who took care of her and his younger siblings. She says she's been coming to the Crime Victims event for the past 10 years, and it helps her deal with her loss. Rosales says Rita is not alone. Many people see this event as a way to heal, and there's lots of organizations here to help.
And that's the beauty of having all these agencies and organizations come together on this special day. It's an honor for me to come out and to be a part of something so special because, again, you look at our stage, you see those babies that have fallen. They're no longer here with us, and their families have been impacted. Our community has been impacted.
Rita says she'll be back next year to continue to honor her son and to walk with other people who have also suffered loss. Stephanie Cordova, News 22. Neighborhood to neighborhood, step by step, the New Mexico Dream Team, a pro-immigrant group, is spreading word about their mission.
New Mexico Dream Team is affiliate with United with Dream. United with Dream is the biggest immigrant-led organization in the nation. We are for immigrants by immigrants, and we have over 50 affiliates in over 26 states. We're one of the biggest affiliates of United with Dream.
Last Saturday, the group canvassed the village of Doña Ana asking people to sign petitions against current federal immigration policies. Policies that hit close to home for NMSU graduate Gabriela Hernandez, who is under the Deferred Action Childhood Arrival Program. Hernandez has not seen her father since she was a sophomore in high school.
He was detained, he skipped a stop sign, didn't have a driver's license, didn't have insurance, and unfortunately ended up in jail because he needed 2 out of the 3 things. Didn't have anything under his name, ended up in jail, the Boulder County Jail, and was deported.
She was motivated after that life-changing day to help others.
And so at that moment, I decided that was not what I needed because it took an economic, it took a lot for my family.
Residents we spoke to say immigration runs deep in this part of the country.
It's actually a colony from Mexico, from Chihuahua, that came here to develop this area.
The group's goal is to sign up more than 2,000 residents by June, pledging their support. Besides going out and informing the immigrant community about their rights, the New Mexico Dream Team organization hands out cards like this that could be used in case an ICE official knocks on their door.
So that's why the reason that we're outreaching, and we understand the fear that is in this community because of the checkpoint, because of the rates.
The Dream Team says they will continue to spread word to try and help others without a voice. Stephanie Cordova, News 22. People from different parts of the city are upset that their neighbors are parking RVs on the quiet streets, and city officials have heard about it.
We receive complaints across the city. The numbers of complaints have increased slightly over the last couple of years, but we're trying to propose amendments.
The new proposal will allow residents to park an RV with 4 wheels or less in front of their home for any period of time. But RVs with more than 4 wheels can only be parked in front of a house for 14 days at a time. The city is also proposing to limit the time allowed to live in or occupy a recreational vehicle.
We're also clarifying that they can't live on their RV on their property unless it's in an RV park or a trailer park, with limited exceptions for emergencies.
Some homeowners are concerned about people not respecting their neighborhood.
It gets to where the people aren't considered their neighbors, and it just makes the neighborhood look bad. Drops down property values.
For others like 59-year-old Michelle Cabligia, who recently purchased an RV 2 days ago, living on an RV will be a type of freedom to enjoy life.
I can sell my property and live in this very economically in the state of New Mexico. It's only $200 a month to rent.
I think they need to do something to help everybody out, And I know the RV owners have rights, but, the people that don't have RVs and live in the neighborhood have rights too.
Public comments will be presented to the city councilors tomorrow with a possible vote by early December. For News 22, Stephanie Cordova.
No borders, no nations. Donald Trump's hateful rhetoric, and we will not be represented by the few touches that he takes.
Ideas that we don't need to be using as moving forward as a country. We need ideas of prosperity and togetherness, unity, and Trump is just not that for America.
I believe that the Mexican people are beautiful people, just like everybody else, just like Muslim people are, just like white people are. Everybody is equally important in the human race. And I think that in a border town, it's mostly important to say that because Donald Trump is supposed to represent the people, and he's supposed to represent our country, and he doesn't, because all he does is speak a bunch of hateful rhetoric. And people in Mexico are listening to that, and they think that that's our views, and it's not. So that's why I thought it was important to bring it here to El Paso.
But I don't think he's qualified to be our president. He doesn't have a sense of how government works, and he doesn't relate to all the people, the different sectors of society. The education, minorities, working people, rich people. He's coming from a high-powered developer mentality. That's a little world he's been in.
National Public Lands Day takes place every year on the last Saturday in September. It is a single-day volunteer effort and was also a great opportunity to connect people to public lands here in Las Cruces.
The public enjoys our public lands, and throughout the year we get people that are requesting to do a volunteer for our agency. And so as a result, what we try to do is during the month of September and October is to have a variety of events where the public has an opportunity to come out and volunteer and do some work for us.
Volunteers came out today to help and clean trails like this one behind me in order for the community to continue enjoying the beauty of the Dripping Springs natural area.
It's safer for the people who come and also the animals like their pets and their kids.
The public lands not only include national parks, but also monuments, forests, grasslands, wildlife refuges, lakes, sanctuaries, and any other areas that are enjoyed by everyone. For some people, maintaining trails clean is the most important.
I spend most of my free time on these trails, so it's good to take care of them. So yeah, I think it's a great thing.
If you enjoy some hiking, fishing, or camping, next time take this day to help and celebrate the Lands Day and ensure their attraction. Reporting for News 22, Stephanie Cordova. Greek dancers took the stage for the opening of the Las Cruces International Festival, where the community came together to explore cultures and traditions from Spain to Nepal.
We have a great festivals. It's called Dasai and it's celebrated for 15 days. And all the government office and schools, all they close for 15 days to celebrate the festival. And we miss that one. It's awesome.
The festival has taken place for the past 30 years, and it's a great opportunity not only for the public to learn, but also for New Mexico State University international students to share their roots with others, like Alexandra Tovar, a graduate student from Brazil.
We're a diverse community, and we don't really realize how diverse we are until we have days like this where everybody has a chance to come out and express and show others their culture.
It's been more than 5 years since Alexandra went to Brazil, and she says she misses her favorite tradition, dancing at the carnival.
When I dance, I feel like I can express myself. It's something our ancestors many years. An expression of, whatever was going on at that time, whether it was oppression, whether it was happiness, dance is a way of connecting with each other.
Every year, more and more cultures become part of the Las Cruces International Festival. About 70 cultures joined the festival this year, and people were also able to enjoy free rides during the event. Next year, the festival will be taking place at Young Park. Stephanie Cordova, News 22. Journalism students at the University of Texas at El Paso write stories to be published. Most stories are published on an online magazine called Border Scene, reporting across fronteras. Border Scene is dedicated to publish relevant stories about the borderland, and the magazine was founded by a Cuban journalist and current UTEP professor, Cita Arocha.
I guess the idea to launch Border Zine was my brainchild, in the sense that I always felt that the border needed to have young people who were training to be journalists and to be able to have an outlet for them to write about this community from a binational perspective.
Initially, she wanted to be a teacher, but after working for the Tampa Times as a secretary in Florida, being the only speaking Spanish for the newspaper, her interest in journalism became a passion.
And I basically taught myself journalism by being in the newsroom, by talking to other reporters, by working with the editors, by reading the newspaper all the time and figuring out how news stories were written. So it was a really pretty much a trial by fire and learn as you go. But then I realized I love it.
Arocha was a reporter for more than 20 years and worked for well-known newspapers like the Washington Post, the Miami Herald, and the Miami News. She was also the executive director for the National Association of Hispanic Journalists, and last year Arocha was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And even though Arocha faced many obstacles, she always knew her main goal was to inform the Hispanic community.
And I got a chance to talk to a lot of heads of news organizations, the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times, CBS, NBC, ABC, about that they were really doing nothing or very little, very little, to really begin to integrate their newsrooms and to bring diversity to their newsrooms.
Students say Arocha is a great mentor and have learned many things that have helped them to develop their journalism skills.
How to do interviews, how to talk to people, how to do research.
Arocha says the magazine will continue publishing and that she will keep encouraging students to become the best journalists in the world. Reporting for News 22, Stephanie Cordova. The number of students enrolling at NMSU has been falling for the past several years, so the administration is trying new ideas to attract more students and keep them here until they graduate. Part of the plan requires first-year students to live on campus.
As an institution, we want to have students come to NMSU, but we want them to graduate, and hopefully in 4 years. But that starts with keeping them between their first year and second year. So the first-year residency requirement is really designed to help us boost that number.
And many, like freshman Evelyn Loya, thinks it's a great idea.
I think it's very rewarding because you kind of get more of the experience, you get to see all the events that go on, especially during your first week here. It feels very welcoming. You get to meet a lot of new people.
She also thinks students living on campus can make a better use of the time than those living off campus.
It's just a lot easier to walk to class rather than getting up an hour prior just to get ready and drive. And I guess it was more of an incentive that it was required to live on campus.
But the new measure could have a negative impact on students still undecided on attending NMSU.
Well, I don't think this is a good idea because many of us students don't have enough money to live on campus and pay for tuition. So that was actually one of the main reasons why I didn't choose to go to NMSU, because it was going to be more expensive to live in there.
But they are exceptions to the rule.
They're 21 or older, so those non-traditional students who may have gone and done something else and come back. Students that came to essentially the exemption committee was medical hardship, so students who can't live in the halls because there's some medical thing preventing them.
Evelyn Loya doesn't need the exceptions. She enjoys campus lives and she plans to live on campus for the whole semester she's a student here. Reporting for News 22, Stephanie Cordova.